Welcome to another video of O-level physics. In this video we are basically going to talk about an introduction to physics O-level course under Cambridge curriculum. So in Cambridge curriculum we have basically two parts of O-levels. One is GCE, the other one is IGCSE. So in this video we are going to talk about Cambridge or CAIE GCE O-level physics, not the IGCSE, although they are similar. But there are some minor differences between them. But we will be talking about GCE O-level physics. Okay? So the things we will be talking about in this video is how do we cover the syllabus in 2 years. In most of the schools and most of the courses, we take 2 years to complete the O-level syllabus. So most cases we will find it in class 9. We have the first year for the covering of the syllabus, and class 10 is the second year. So we'll be talking about the syllabus in a while. We will also be talking about the paper format. Okay. So let's see how many papers we will have. That also we will see in the syllabus, and what type of questions we face. I'll show you the question papers also, so that you can get an idea of what type of questions you are going to face over there, right? So these are the things we will be covering in our video today. So you can get a very good, proper idea of what you are going to get into for the next 2 years. Or 3 years when you're facing your O-level exams for physics. Okay, so we start with the syllabus first. Okay, for the syllabus, you can go to the Cambridge website and download the physics syllabus under the Cambridge GCE. The code for physics is 5054, as you can see it here. This is the code for physics GCE O-level. For IGCSE, it's 0625, but we will be talking about this one. So I'll be talking about 5054 physics. Okay. This is not the latest version. This one is for November 2020, May, June, and November 2020 and 2021. So from 2022, you will have a different syllabus. So we'll be talking about the updates in another video. Let's just see what you get in the video, in the syllabus that you will be downloading. So you will go through a lot of information here. We won't be covering all of them. So this is what you have in your syllabus. The content that you will be covering in your O-level physics. So syllabus content, the first part is general physics, then the Newtonian mechanics, energy and thermal physics, waves, electricity and magnetism, and atomic physics. So these are actually divided in 6 sections, which will have further subdivisions among them, which you will see. In paper 3, this is covered in paper 1 and 2. Then you'll have paper 3, which is a practical test, and paper 4 is alternatively practical. So basically, you will be facing an exam which consists of 3 papers. Out of this 4, we will have 3 papers. So some of the schools prefer paper 1, paper 2, which is mandatory. You have to give this. There is no option for that. Some of the schools prefer paper 3. Some of the schools prefer paper 4. So you either go for paper 3 or paper 4. There is an option for you. So paper 1 is basically all multiple choice questions. We will see the question papers also format. So paper 1 is multiple choice question. Paper 2 is structured question. That makes up this content, this syllabus content. Paper 3 and paper 4 is the practical skills, which are based on the contents given here, right? So when you do the practical classes, you also will have an idea what type of experiments you will be facing. Now let's go to the next part. These are all information you can read through yourself. We'll go to the syllabus directly. Now, before going to the syllabus, this is what I want to focus on. So paper 1 is basically what we talked about, is a multiple choice question paper. There will be 40 compulsory multiple choice questions, 40 MCQs of the direct choice type. The question involves 4 response items. That means each MCQ will have 4 responses, A, B, C, D. You have to choose any one of them. And this 40 questions will have 40 marks. The duration of this paper is 1 hour. You get 1 hour to complete the paper, and you choose one answer out of the 4 options that you have for each question. So 40 questions, 40 marks, 1 hour duration. Paper 2 has 2 sections. So how do we consider paper 2? Let's first go for the total marks. Paper 2 has a total mark of 75. Alright? So paper 2 has a 75 marks question. Now, there are 2 sections in paper 2. The first section is section A, and the second section is section B. The difference between them is all of it is structured. There is no MCQs or fill in the blanks or such things. These are all structured questions. Now section A, you will have 45 marks question. The total marks we saw is 75, right? Out of that, 45 marks will be in section A, and all the questions in section A are compulsory. You have to answer all of them. There is no options or anything. Section B, on the other hand, you will have options. In section B, you will have 3 questions. Question 1, question 2, question 3. Each of 15 marks. Each of the question will carry 15 marks. Now you see, you have already answered 45 here. How much more do you need to get to 75? You need another 30 marks. So in section B, you have the option to answer any 2 out of these 3, because 15 plus 15 makes 30. You don't need to answer number 3. If you answer number 1 and number 3, you don't need to answer number 2. So that is the difference between section A and section B, but all of them are structured questions. So in section B, there are 3 questions. Each question is worth 15 marks. Candidates must answer any 2 questions from this section. So you can answer any 2 questions in section 3. So we have 40 marks here and we have 75 marks here. So how much do we get in total here? So 40 from paper 1, 75 from paper 2. That gives us 115 marks in the first 2 papers, which are compulsory. There is no option that you can skip paper 1 and paper 2. You have to give the exam. You can choose between paper 3 and paper 4. Now let us go to paper 3 and paper 4 structured questions. What type of questions you face in paper 3 or paper 4? Paper 3 and paper 4, these are how they are structured. Paper 3 has 2 sections. Section A, there are 3 compulsory questions, each carrying 5 marks. So 3 questions each of 5 marks gives you 15. And then there is section B, which has 1 question which alone carries 15 marks, right? So you have 15 marks in the first 3 questions. And you have 1 question here which alone carries 15 marks. So this comes 30 marks here, right? This is a 2-hour exam where you have to show your practical skills. You have to work with the apparatus, you have to take readings, calculations, but it's all practical based. Paper 4 on the other hand is alternative to practical. Some school chooses this one over this paper, or the private candidates, they don't have the option to sit for the practical paper, they sit for the alternative to practical, which carries the same marks, 30 marks, 30 marks. But these questions, you don't have to do the lab work. The readings will be given to you. You have to analyze them, give conclusions based on the results that are given, draw the graph, find out certain values from there. The only part is that you don't have to do the practical things yourself, right? So you see here we have another 30 marks. So this is what your paper looks like. So you have paper 1 with 40 marks. You have paper 2 with 75 marks. You have paper 3 or paper 4 with 30 marks. So in total, you're going to sit for your O-level exams out of a total of 145 marks. Okay. So this is the total marks you're going to face for your physics exam. So your physics exam will consist of 3 papers at least, and this is the total marks you're going to face out of 3 papers. These are the formats that we have talked about, and you'll have to finish this entire thing within 2 years of your curriculum. Some of the school chooses 3 years, which gives you an extra time to study and revise, but 2 years is good enough, and most of the school chooses 2 years for completing the O-level physics course. Okay. The course is, as we have seen, divided into 6 sections, which we have seen in the previous part of the syllabus, and each section is further subdivided, which I'll show you in a while in the video, that each section is subdivided into further topics, and there are around total 26 chapters that you have to cover. 26 chapters in physics that you have to cover to face for your O-level exams. So next up we'll be talking about the contents in the syllabus. Alright, thank you up to here. I hope you have cleared.